Uh, CJ had such a great year, and he's like really integral part to our defense. Obviously, I think CJ has great relationships here with both players and staff. So that's the first thing. Like we always talk about relationships, football is family. Like I think CJ is the kind of guy that he's very loyal, and he's got great equity and great investment in this program from the work that he's done, but also the people next to him. So whether it's the guys on the team, we talk about true brotherhood all the time, or the staff, like that connection and those relationships were really important, I think. So, yep.
Have you seen him take another step this spring, or
Yeah.
where do you think he's at right now?
Yeah, so just compared to last spring at this time, where all of us, coaches included, were kind of swimming to get on the same page, to get the system down and get comfortable with both our scheme and the personnel that we had. Like, I think CJ probably didn't have the comfort level that he does right now. After a year in the system, he's refined his play like significantly. So that's been really exciting to see, because at this stage last year, he was a guy who he played hard and he played physical, and he showed up and made plays because he's a really good football player. Now he's able to do his job. He's able to be in the right spot. He has a really good understanding of the defense. So there's definitely been an elevation to his game this year. So it's exciting to see.
It feels like supposedly Anthony Orji has really boosted his draft stock over the pre-draft process. What have you seen from him? Like, I guess how proud of you also of he went from maybe borderline draftable supposedly to 5th round or something.
Yeah.
That's a big jump.
Yeah, I'm really excited for him, really excited for his family. He's just a great representative of what our program is about. Like, obviously when Coach Lee came in, there was complete culture change, and Anthony embraced that. He did a great job this past year of becoming a leader, a vocal leader. And ever since I got here last year, he has impressed me with his work ethic, and he prepares like a pro. Like, he's prepared like a pro for the last 2 years of his career. And last year there was a huge uptick in that. So I'm not surprised at all in how he approached this. Obviously the decision was tough for him, but when he made the decision, it was, hey, when I put my feet on the ground every morning, what am I going to be energized to do, and how am I going to go attack my mission of, getting my name called on draft day? And so he's attacked that, with 100% effort. He's smart. He's, like I said, he's been preparing like a pro. I mean, the dude, he slept in our linebacker room during fall camp last year. So, he has a great work ethic. He did a great job training down in Tampa. And even last year, in the summertime and, in the bye weeks, he would be asking me, hey, how can I get prepared for the next level? So, there were definitely things that he prepared for up to this point, so it wasn't just a shock going into this stage of his career. But I'm not surprised at all. I knew that he'd do a great job in the interviews, and I knew that he'd do a great job with the testing stuff. So I'm really, really excited for that. He's a great ambassador for our program.
What have you seen from the Pattersons this spring?
Yeah, they're always, ever since last year when I got the first chance to coach them, they're physical, they're tough, they're smart football players, and they're extremely conscientious. They are meeting with me all the time. Kane has been in my office probably more than I have this spring, watching tape. And Langston's like that too. He's a student of the game. He's always asking, what can he do to get better? They are leaders by example in the way that they play, because they make a lot of noise with how physical they are, and they're really good football players. So I can always count on them to be consistent in terms of the effort that they give. There's no question about it when you turn on the tape. If you're going to ask who loves football, those guys always stick out on the tape as guys that love football. And again, those are guys that they're wired like that. They were obviously high school football stars here, but beyond just their talent, they have that innate desire to play football, and that I think bleeds off to their teammates, because they lead by example and they give great effort. So it's really fun to coach them. Really fun.
Ethan Crisp, what do you think of him as an early enrollee freshman?
Yeah. So Ethan, I can only imagine putting myself in his shoes, 17 years old and coming into a college program, an SEC program, and being able to handle not only, like, we sometimes just think about the football side of things, and it's everything else that goes on that makes it extremely challenging for a freshman. He has come in and, like, not batted an eye, and he's been able to, you know, stay on track academically and do a good job there. The workouts he's been really good in, because it starts with the training, the off-season training, and he knew it was going to be hard, but he attacked it. And then when we got to spring ball, it's been, I mean, we knew Ethan was a really good player. His instincts are really, really good, and he does some stuff that, like, you can't really coach, which is awesome. You know, with him, it'll be a matter of, you know, refining the finer points of, you know, our defense, the scheme, just a little better understanding of that. But the great part about him is he's very versatile. So he plays, you know, anchor. He could slide inside and play Mike or Will. He could also rush the passer. So he's shown a lot of that skill set there. And like I said, a lot of it is natural. But Ethan's a hard worker, and we're excited about the future for sure.
Is he's still only 17?
I think he's 17.
Okay.
I may have missed a birthday back there. I'm trying to think when his birthday exactly was, but I'll figure it out. He's either 17 or 18. So, but yeah, I mean, he's done a great job of assimilating himself and, you know, being a leader in his own way too. So.
You know, he's focused on winning every day and earning it every day, improving on his technique. Fundamentals are a little different when you're out there playing corner compared to safety, but he's competing. You know, I'm really proud of the growth that he's shown. A lot of it's been just even the off-field commitment he's put into this film and his trait. Love Jadis. He's doing a phenomenal job adapting to that position. We've just seen growth from the season just continue to carry over in the spring.
You brought in a lot of guys last year in your freshman class. They probably didn't play as much as maybe we would have expected, but it's a hard spot to play in this league.
Yes, sir.
I know you guys believe in the talent. They're all still back. How much of a leap did that group as a whole take between then and this spring?
Fun thing is we have a lot of room to grow still, but I've seen a big jump in our younger players that have come in and played. And it's really, you see it in the confidence. You see the game starting to slow down for them, and then you see them starting to play with aggression and making plays. So again, that's a tribute to Coach Horgan and the strength staff in terms of the work that they've put in there to get these young guys physically and their bodies ready to go, and mentally challenging them as well. And then the work that they put in our match drills and our off-season program to build confidence in their work capacity that they can go. The transition from high school to college, regardless of position, can be a challenge physically and mentally. I'm really proud of the work of the young guys, and they're getting a ton of reps. That's what I love about spring is we're rotating a ton of players. There's a lot of competition out there, and to me, there's not a depth chart. Guys are just out there battling and trying to earn it every day and compete, and you know, and it's been fun to see their growth. They've taken a big step, so expecting a lot of things from those guys.
I felt like Gumbo last spring as the early enrollee was kind of feeling things out, and now it seems like he's come pretty far. Like, where do you think he's improved? Where do you think?
Proud of Gumbo. He's improved a ton. There's a lot of room to grow. Really all of our players have so much room to grow. We hold a high standard. We expect a lot out of these guys. Gumbo and I have formed a strong, just unique relationship. He's in my office all the time. We're able to talk and communicate about football, but life as well. And I believe the relationship that you have with your coach and the investment that you've put into the program also helps you make that jump. So it's cool for Gumbo to come in as an early enrollee, learn the culture, learn the standard, and go through some learning. I don't even want to say bumps, just some learning opportunities for him last spring. And then, you see at practice now, he's out there competing and winning a lot of reps. And so really excited about him and his future.
I think that it's definitely more defined just because of the way I played last year and the guys that came back, Mahoney, Duricky. So I guess I know we've kind of filled out those three positions. So it's no more like, is CJ going to play boundary, field safety? It's more like we know CJ is going to play anchor. So that's what I've been playing.
How do you like that?
I like it a lot. It shows, it gives me the opportunity to blitz a lot, play man on the tight end, sometimes a slot. I'm involved in the run game a lot. So I think that it shows my versatility. So
where do you think, I guess how would you evaluate maybe the improvement overall from the defense over the last few months? Because it seems like you guys are making a good amount of plays this week.
Yeah, so you can't look at the progress from 2 months ago. You got to look at from last year. We've gotten so much better from last year, or since last year. We're limiting breakdowns with scheme and structure, and today was kind of, I don't know if y'all watched it all, but today was kind of a bad day for us. It wasn't the standard, but we got to go evaluate it and look at it and let everybody know, like on the defense, that wasn't good enough, and just keep getting better. And we've definitely gotten better over the last 2 months. Tackling, they've been hitting on tackling a lot. Every day after practice, we always go in there and they'll tell us like what was our tackling percentages. So the coaches go in depth with it on the film and let us know how we can fix our tackling. So I think that was the biggest improvement for the last 2 months is tackling.
What have you thought of Ethan Crisp?
Ethan, so I played him in high school. So I knew him since he was a sophomore in high school, and obviously he's in the anchor room, and he's reached out to me a lot whenever we're not in the room and like asking me for like help and stuff like that, because I was once a freshman, so I know how that feels, and I just try to open my arms up to him and give him all the knowledge that I was given when I was a freshman. He's super athletic and he's really talented.
You know, I mean, in the transfer portal era, like you never know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you decide to come back?
So I don't really like change. So I'm from a small town, McMinnville, and when I got up here, I wasn't really sure about it. But then Coach Lee and Coach Howell, especially when Coach Howell came here, they really started building relationships within me, and I know all of my teammates feel the same way. So I fell back on like the relationships that was built instead of chasing, you know, NIL and etc.
There's some stuff out there that Tennessee tried to get you to hop in the portal. Is that true?
Yeah, there was some conversations there, but I'm glad to be here.
I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I think this is one of the few bigger schools that recruited you.
Mm-hmm.
You got an opportunity here. You know, the culture they've tried to build around loyalty and things like that. How much does that matter?
What do you say again?
The culture they've tried to build around retention and things like that. How much do those things matter to you?
It matters a lot. Like you said, these were one of the biggest schools to offer me, which Tennessee hopped in late, but then Pruitt, you know, that big ordeal happened. So it was down to Arkansas State and Vanderbilt. So I decided to come here, and I'm truly blessed, and it wasn't a mistake. And everything that we talk about on a daily basis means a lot, especially here, because like Coach Lee says, we might not be the most talented team in the SEC, but any given day, like if we're playing our best, like watch out.
This is the first year where you could be, you know, eligible to enter the NFL draft after next season if you have a big year. Like, what are the kind of the things that you're focusing on as an individual to, you know, improve as much as possible?
I think tackling for sure, becoming a knockback tackler, not just like a drag down tackler, or if I'm coming face to face with somebody, it's not like they're making a move and I'm dragging them down. It's more like hitting and driving back. That's a really big thing, and obviously like learning and continuing how to growing on guard and man coverage, like slots and stuff like that, because like I don't know what I'm going to play, if it's going to be will or safety. So if I'm going to play safety, I need to be able to come down and play a slot. So those two things are the biggest things that I need to work on.
Team, like, what do you think has been the difference for you, you know, now that you've been able to get on the field and do some stuff?
Yeah, for sure. You want to hold this? Or you? Oh, my fault.
No,
sorry. Nah, the difference for me really between like last year and this year is really just trying to become a technician of the game. You know what I'm saying? So just being able to not really focus on strength, but more just making sure that no matter who I'm going against, it's me versus me. I feel like that's a big thing, especially as a tackle in the SEC. A lot of times guys will see like who they're going against and be scared just off of the name or just off the number. But in reality, you got to, like, no matter who it is, you got to know like to keep your same set, keep your same technique, and technique can take you a long way rather than just talent. So just kind of like learning how to combine both of those together and just be the greatest player I can be.
What do you think is kind of the next step for you, or like, you know, what you're focusing on in terms of technique, you know, to be at your best?
Of course. So for me right now, really, like me, Coach Blas, sometimes I'll go with Coach Lynch or whoever. We'll watch film. I got a lot of alumni, great guys that help me. So for me personally right now, technique was is definitely low hips. I feel like last year I was a real high hip guy. But obviously taking that and learning how to stay low, I feel like that helped me tremendously with strides and really my punch. I feel like a lot of times I was grabbing. So this whole spring, it's really just been trying to remember to stay low and punch. But more importantly, like when I'm tired, I feel like when I'm tired, sometimes you can forget your technique. But being able to make that turn into a habit would take me like all the way up.
How does it help that like the first five on the O-line, you guys all played together a lot last season?
Oh no, it's amazing, man. Like having Ash, Gunner, you know, like losing Bram, of course, like obviously was a great player. But just being able to play with the same guys that I rode with from Kentucky, Florida, like no matter what it was, whether it's being down 2 touchdowns or up a touchdown, man, like that's something that you can't really like replicate. You know what I'm saying? So being with the same guys, it's honestly like a brotherhood. like understanding like how they think, how they process things. You can just tell off of like whether their head's down or like their body language, how they're feeling. So being able to really read each other is like a true brotherhood, honestly.
Does it help to maybe lock in more the right side rather than switch back and
Oh,
forth?
100%. I definitely love being versatile, like showing that in game. Like no matter who we're going against, I can play both sides. It's definitely amazing. But being able to really hone in on my technique on the right side has helped me so much more. I feel like I'm way more confident. Like going into scrimmages or practices or like whatever it is here, being able to just like hone in on just the right side and really just focus on my technique has helped me so much.
Go ahead, Bobby.
Well, I know he's playing on the other side of the line from you, but where do you think Leighton Nelson has improved, since the fall?
Oh my goodness, tremendously. Like for Leighton, really, he's going to be a great player, man. Like really, really good player. In a few years, he'll be right in the same spot, I promise you. For him, it was just really a confidence thing. Being a young guy, especially O-line, like it's one of those few positions where, like you got your receivers doing 7-on-7 and DBs. I always like to say that can come in as a freshman, like they can play right away because strength like really isn't a big deal. If you're open, you're open. But as a tackle, a lot of times, like in my opinion, I say like 60% of it is just confidence, being able to understand that you are the dominating factor on that line. So for Leighton, really, this whole spring has just been like building his confidence up, and I mean, it's been showing like during scrimmages and during one-on-ones and all. You can see how much of a better player he's been with confidence.
How much does continuity help having the same guy to your left?
Helps amazing. Being able, like I already said, but like being able just to really like feel like how they move, how they play, understanding body language, like knowing on certain combination blocks, like how the guy next to you, for me, Ashmore, plays. It helps us out so much because he knows, number one, let's say I get beat with the inside move or outside move, and I'm kind of like, dang, like he already knows before I even kind of almost know myself, like, hey, like Junior, come on, pick it up, like you're good. So really just being able to just have like a brother next to me, like it helps me tremendously.